Hello, this is Cotton Stoops, and welcome back to another Lumion Legacy video. Today's video, we're going to be analyzing the new, quote-unquote, confirmed moves coming to Antlanthian City. Basically, these moves are potentially going to be coming in Antlanthian City, but not exactly confirmed. Alright, so in terms of buffs that I'm going to be talking about is going to be more on moves instead of, ability reworks, move reworks, stuff like that. And most of these moves are probably new to you, or they're probably returning moves to these levels. And before we actually get into the loomians down here that are getting buffs, I'm going to move some stuff around, and that's mainly Permine, Dragoon, Cosmere Unleashed, and yeah, so I think that's it for now, because these two don't really provide as much as I thought they would. I mean, being in B- is a pretty low tier in of itself. So yeah, I'm putting these down here. Pyramide's not really of a great Bane of Haste setter, and Cosmere here is pretty good because it's kind of fast, it hits hard, and being walled by metals isn't such a bad thing as I thought it would, so credit to that person in the comments. And before we... Alright, I mean not before, so let's jump in with the loomians. So instead of going from order that Jamie has released them in, we're going to be talking about Deladrix first. And Deladrix was actually considered getting Thunderstrike. Credits to Isaac Newbie for, suggesting that idea to Jamie, and So I think I ranked Deladrix in B or B+ last time, and now it has Thunderstrike. I'm kind of leaning towards having B+. I mean, it might get Thunderstrike, but still. I'm leaning towards a B+ because, well, Thunderstrike, sure, it helps it a lot. You do help. Well, Thunderstrike doesn't really improve your coverage, I would say. I mean, you hit metals now, which is obviously pretty good. So you hit Stratosaur super effective, which is where are you, Stratosaur? So you hit Stratosaur super effective, so it's like one of your main checks to Deladrix, and that's pretty good as well. Not to mention that you do hit stuff like Ventation super effective now. Wintrix down here as well, Akalo super effective, the usual. And now hitting waters, metals are pretty good for this thing, because you are walled by waters, some waters, don't quote me on that. And metals do pose a problem for you because Ferroblast is like your strongest move, so it's a B+ for me. I kind of want to put it up here because the same reason as Wintrix, because they're both frail, they're kind of fast, and they hit kind of hard. More so Wintrix than Deladrix, but guys, you have to remember that Deladrix is frail, and it's weak to priority, and priority is a common thing in this metagame. You have priority from... hold on. You have priority from Mutagon, Ursul, where's Borak? Borak as well. You also have like potentially some stuff that might come in to wall you, and that's mainly Clever Swolder, but no one would use that. So the real loomians that would pose a threat to you now is Clever Harvesect or Clever Bug types in general. So yeah, it's a B+. I might move it up later, but it's staying in B+ for now. So let's get on with the loomians that Jamie has potentially released them in order. First Loomian is getting a move, and that's Seer Knight. Seer Knight is getting armor down. A quick overview of this move is basically you lose your metal typing and you gain +1 or 2 speed. And this is very good for Seer Knight because you lose your electric and brawler weakness, which is already pretty good as well, and you are now 2 times weak to fire, so you can do some shenanigans with Seer Knight, maybe terrifying your way into stuff like Himber and Mars. I wouldn't try that, but still, you know. And this opens a lot of potential for offensive Seer Knight. And that's pretty good for Seer Knight because, you know, Seer Knight needs offense and its typing kind of holds it back. But you do lose the ability to switch in on Cosmures, the Cosmure line. You do lose the switch into Shachi, and you're like the best meta answer to Shachi other than Valkyrie. So yeah, Seer Knight will stay in A- for now. Offensive Seer Knight now viable once you get armor down. I mean, it was viable before, but it's even more viable now. But armor down seems more of an offensive thing than a defensive thing, and most people still like using defensive Seer Knight, so we might not see much of the armor down Seer Knight. So now the next Loomian we're gonna be talking about is Luminami. It's getting a light melee move that bypasses Scapegoat, and Scapegoat is never used. I mean, Tyrex use it, but you know, dodge is better in my opinion. So it doesn't really help it. Sure, you get more melee coverage, but you know, your melee coverage is already enough. You have Thunder Chomp, Mega Chomp, Hydro Slash. You can even count Chili Chomp as well, but no. So Blind Spot does help it, but you know, it's just another tool for Luminami to use against you. It's another move for Luminami to squash bugs with. So yeah, well in this case, ancient types. But yeah, speaking of ancient types, we got Zulong here. Where is Zulong? We got Zulong. Actually, let's not talk about Zulong. Obsidian. Obsidian is not getting new moves actually. It's a so Sharpen and Beast Slumber are getting to a higher level, and okay, that doesn't really change anything for it. It's gonna stay B for now. And next Loomian we have Himber. Himber is getting Mudslide. Mudslide is a range 70 base power move that removes hazards, and for Himber, that might actually be pretty good. Most people are using Quick Punch for offensive sets, and Quick Punch is, in my opinion, one of the worst moves for Himber to run. But then again, why would you run any other moves? I mean, you can run Dodge, Health Amulet, Himber, but I wouldn't, because, you know, giving something Health Amulet when it needs damage is pretty bad on its own, and more stuff would actually love to use Health Amulet. So, Himber, sure, it has potential with Mudslide now, since it can be your hazard remover. It can remove icicle traps. I wouldn't try to remove poison bars unless you have dust, but dust in Himber is not really that good. So it's going to stay in its tier for now. God, stop pinging me. Anyways, the next one is Vesperatu. Vesperatu is learning Phantom Slash by level up. Yeah, it's the same move it gets from Rally. Anyways, we have Tatab getting Splitting Headache. I don't know what to say. It's a range mind type move. 60 base power. It's like Ill Will. So I mean, there you go. You get your mind type Ill Will now. Volcanic Ash Barter secret ability Tatab is now viable even more. Well, not viable in a good sense, just viable in a fun sense. So another useless move for Tatab, not getting the plant stab it needs. So you're gonna stay where you are in B-. Zulong, you're getting Shrewd Blast. Weaker than Elemental Burst, a move that you already have. Luxor, that's something. You're getting Peace of Mind now. Okay, let's actually talk about this. So Luxor getting Peace of Mind might be a little bit of a game changer, since you now boost your range defense, and now I don't know. You're not as bulky. No, you are not as frail as before. So that kind of wants me to say it has more potential, like a B plus Lumion. But guys, it's Luxor. It's the same Lumion as before. It's still walled by plant types, like um actually it's only just the only plant type that walls it, it's Maomer. Luminami still gives you trouble. Meditoad on a stat-wise level still gives you trouble, as well as Iliguana now. Now that's common in the meta. Hell, even Clever Eclipse gives you trouble. Sedimars, if you do not have trap set up, Sedimars will give you trouble. It's just a bunch of things right now do have the potential to kill you. And that is not, I mean, not kill you, to wall you. And that on its own is pretty bad. So I don't know how good Peace of Mind Luxor will be. It's kind of like Peace of Mind Bellatrix here, but Bellatrix's coverage is more threatening than Luxor's. Not counting Thunderstrike, of course. So next one, I skipped over Valkyrie. So let's talk about that. Valkyrie is getting armor down. This move potentially may be a game-breaking move for Valkyrie. And what this basically does, it removes your Earth, Brawler, and Electric weakness. So with just Light, you're only weak to Dark now. I mean, I guess Metal, which is like, okay, cool. But still, you're only weak to 2 typings now, I think. And that on its own is pretty good. I mean, you can switch in on more, kinda. I mean, you can now potentially set up on Sedimars that doesn't have Chase Down. You can potentially set up on Iliguana now, because Thunderstrike doesn't hit you super effective now. Yeah, so there's potential in there. But the problem here is that Valkyrie wants its Metal Stab. It wants Metal Blast because now you don't 2-hit KO Iliguana without running a recoil move, and not hitting the Mare super effective as much as before. Hits it, nerfs it pretty hard, as well as Himber, Wintrix, you know, the ice types. And that's where the problems start to begin, because armor down Valkyrie may seem good, but like in terms of early game wise, you're never gonna click armor down, because metal, while it does bring you weaknesses, it does give you utility. And losing out on the resistance to mine, ancient, typeless, air, bug, ice, that's pretty big. That's like 6 typings gone in an instant. So I don't know how good this thing will be with armor down, but offensive sets are more viable now. Well, more offensive speed invested sets are viable now. So you have the choice to be running Smart Nimble, very smart, Smart Clever, Robust Clever, Clever Nimble. Yeah, you can run anything now. So that's it for Valkyrie. It's an A+ for me and still. I don't know how it will change. And next up we got Umbrat with Bulk Up. Bulk Up Umbrat is, you know, it helps, but not really, because you're still walled by Spirit types. Dark types still give you trouble. Bug types still wall you to infinity and beyond. I don't know. Bulk Up Umbrat, definitely a good step forward in the future, but it's definitely not gonna help it a lot, because, you know, why use Umbrat when you got Eclipse? And Eclipse is getting Dark Surge. Yes, you know, the funny rat getting unresistible coverage, so nothing in the future cannot resist Dark and Light and Typeless combined. Yay, that's very cool, Jamie. My god. Anyways, let's not talk about that still. Let's talk about what answers it. So, Stuff like Luminami, Valkyrie, Namari, Aeliguana, Maurmurt, Festifer, where the hell are you? I think that's it for now. All of these Loomians don't wall. All of these Loomians don't wall you anymore. And when these Loomians don't wall you anymore, that's a lot. So you have insane offensive potential now. And the main idea for Loomians to wall you are: one, they have enough bulk to resist you, or two, they have some ability or something. And right now we only have base stats to work with. You got Stratosaur as a good range sponge. I'm joking. It's not good. It's good. It's not as good, but it helps. You got Setimars here as a good range sponge. You got Venolin here as a good range sponge. Range sponge. That's all I can think of right now. But yeah, those are like one of the three only things that wall you now. And when you get Dark Surge, oh boy, this thing's gonna be a monster. So would I say it's an A+ tier? Or even S tier? Maybe. I'm leaning more towards of an A tier, because Vesperatu is kind of in the same boat as it, but it's only walled by Ventation of Syndragon and the new Tundraland. So I'm not sure about where to rank this Loomian, because this Loomian is pretty good. With Dark Surge, it's a mega buff for it, but does it make it top tier? I'm not sure. Obviously, that's up for you guys to decide. So I'm gonna put it in the A+ tier for now, because its coverage is insane. It's an insanely good sweeper or cleaner to put on your team, and its ability is just nothing to scoff at. Anyways, let's talk about the next one, Avatros. Let's move it up a bit. Let's go a little bit faster. So Avatros with Driving Force switches Loomian out. That's pretty good, and it also allows you to hit ice types. That alone is pretty good. Here we go. So I think I put it in B+ before, so it's gonna stay there. Reason why is Avatros with Driving Force may seem good, but it's still negative priority. And negative priority means you're always gonna go last. And when you go last, that means things will hit you with super effective moves. So Driving Force is more of a prediction move. So if you predict an ice type switching in on you, you can always click that. So Driving Force has its uses. You can definitely stop stuff like Ventation from setting up on you. And yes, Ventation can brace up on you even though you have Thunder Crash. You can potentially switch out Joltooth as well. Other electric types that might try and switch in on you. So this thing is basically the Uno reverse card of Loomians, which is like, okay, it's pretty stupid. Anyways, Smolder is next with Brawn Boost. Yeah, the funny spider getting a +2 freaking move. Oh man, it was originally gonna get it a lot more sooner, but fans chose Volclo over it. So let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Swolder. Swolder here has potential to run offensive sets now. I mean, you can try running defensive sets and then replace Poison for Brawn Boost, which is probably what I'm gonna do, because I'm lazy and I don't want to run a secret ability Swolder. But anyways, Brawn Boost Swolder has potential. So it can threaten stuff a lot more. It can definitely set up on stuff like Vesperatu, Ursul, the usual. Also sets up on other toxic types. Also helps a lot with water types, specifically Luminami, Ventation. And speaking of Ventation, it has power against it now, and it even counters Blowtox even more, and that's obviously very good for it. But is it A+ tier? No. It still has the same problems as before. Still weak to Icicle Trap, still weak to Air types, still weak to Himber and Wind Tricks and Akalos. yeah, it's still a hard life for being a bug type, and yeah, it bites back pretty hard. I mean, yeah, so it's an A for me still, and this is gonna be a common trend for a lot of these Loomians because a lot of these Loomians don't need what they're gonna get. So yeah, um, another Loomian just like Solder is like not Brawn Boost, Borak. Borak is getting bulk up. So you can potentially switch in, get a boost, wait for another turn. While you do that, while you get the opponent to switch, you're now at +2. Obviously, nothing wants to deal with a +2 Borak because Borak is scary, and this allows Borak to set up on stuff like Obsidian, and yeah, I mean just Obsidian. You can't count Ventation because Ventation's Ventation. You can't count Harvesect because Harvesect is Harvesect, and you can't count Wobbless because it's immune to your setup. So, Bulk Up Borak has uses, but the main problem that I'm looking at here is what are you going to replace for Bulk Up? I mean, all of Borak's moves, it all wants it. Quick Pounce to revenge kill faster Loomians that are at low health. Raging Tackle to hit stuff like um, Raging Tackle to hit just I don't know. I don't know what that's for, to be honest. Mega Chomp to hit light types and hit Luminami mostly hit Luminami and plant types, and Earthquake to hit metals. So it kind of wants all of its moves. So I can potentially see Borak still running the 4 attacking set, but Bulk Up Borak might be pretty good as well. So I'll keep it in A. And Iliguana, Dazzling Barrage. It's a melee move. That's all you need to know. Iliguana is not going to use it. But another Loomian that might use it is Venolin. I'm not Venolin. My god, that's Wendelin. Wendelin. You're getting Dazzling Barrage. So that obviously helps it a lot because Spirit is resisted by Ancient, and Light types, guess what? They hit Ancient super effective. Whoa, I didn't know. But anyways, it helps out with dealing with Obsidian, Joltooth, Cosmere Crack, Cosmere Unleashed. Yeah, it definitely does help with those Loomians because Wendelin it does hit like a truck. Don't forget, guys, it has 123 base melee attack, and Very Brawny is definitely viable on Wendelin now. So it's more of a glass cannon in a sense now. It definitely has the speed tier to outspeed Loomians, but it kind of wants to run Brawny Nimble. I mean, I'd run Very Brawny, but still. It wants to outspeed Loomians, but it having low defenses kind of hurts it a lot, so it's on the same boat as Deladrix here. It's a B plus for now. I mean, it was in B plus. It was in B last time, so B plus for it seems pretty good. And anyways, let's talk about Gasstroke. Gasstroke, you're getting bait. You know what that does? Target moves against you, and you know what moves are hitting against you? Everything that's super effective. So you're in D tier. D tier for Gasstroke. I won't even give you a G tier. You don't deserve it. Anyways, your soul recovery jab. Oh boy. Your soul with recovery jab might be a game changer for your soul. Your soul needs recovery because it's gonna want to switch in on stuff like Hunter and mainly Hunter. But anyways, it getting a better brawler stab is obviously good because it helps it compete with stuff like Mutagon and Wrestling. So it competing with Mutagon and Wrestling, that's obviously pretty good. And what about your soul here is that, I mean, again, same problem as Borak, 4 slot move syndrome. You want to run 4 moves. You have to run 4 moves, but you want more than 4 moves. So what I probably would do with your soul here is replace chase down for recovery jab. And yeah, this might move it up to an A plus tier Loomian. Because your soul hits very hard, it has decent bulk, and definitely its priority moves help it out a lot. Not to mention it does help with wrestling here, and wrestling's pretty annoying to deal with. Not to mention it helps out with other brawler types, stuff like Mutagon. Even though it doesn't get hit super effective by telekinetic sweep, it still helps. So you're A plus. You're pretty good now. You were good before, but you're even better. Although I might be wrong about your soul. Wiki, you're getting sap plant. Cool. But you know it's not cool? You being weak to so many things. I mean, more support for the support Loomian. Cool. Never gonna use it though, sadly. Chartiki! Where are you? Frick, did I lose Chartiki? Oh, Chartiki! You're getting Blaze Punch. A melee move. When you're a range attack. Yeah, I don't need to say anymore. Waka Laka. Getting Peace of Mind. This may be a good buff for Waka Laka, because you know Waka Laka right here needs setup. Well, not needs. I mean, it's cool to have setup, but is it gonna change it? Not really, because you're frail as ever. You're weak to a lot of stuff, so it's gonna be you're gonna have a hard time finding a good place to set up. So it's gonna be B tier still. Let's talk about Shachi. Shachi's learning Dismantle. Dismantle, yeah, cool move. It's basically defog from Pokemon. Would you use Shachi as a answer to traps? Probably not, because you know there's better toxic and fire types out there. And Dismantle, you're probably not gonna run it because you're gonna be wanting to run Peace of Mind for Pyrokinesis, Elemental Burst, and Valchant. So you don't have a potential move slot to move that. You might want to, if you do want to run Dismantle, you might want to get rid of the Elemental Burst because it's kind of bad on Shachi. But yeah, it's a B plus tier Loomian still. It definitely can work on teams, but Dismantle is just another move it can run. I don't recommend it. Next Loomian, Mars. Mudslide. Now usually I'd say this is pretty bad because it's a range attacking move given to a melee attacker, but this being used as a hazard remover may not be such a bad idea. This threatens out the toxic types, and that's pretty good. I mean, it threatens out the barb setters, so you know that's pretty good as well. Is it enough to bring it up here? No, but alone, this is pretty good. It's a good move for Mars. Will it use it? Probably not, but you know, whatever it was gonna use, it's good. One thing I do want to note, it got talent trade, so it can trade away its lazy ability, and now it can outspeed some stuff. I'll let you guys decide on how good that is. Ventation is getting Maroon. No. I'm sorry, but Maroon isn't much of a better move because we were still using Geyser because you can burn opponents. There you go. You're in B now. You still are you're still as bad as not bad. You're just you just have a hard time getting into the battle without another Loomian taking advantage of you. Alright, your stack is getting Exhausting Jab. It's okay. It does have low energy with Heavy Shield, so it definitely can work. So I'm not gonna say much. It's a cool move. Can be run over Heartbreak. That's obviously very nice. Rotodon, you're getting Mudslide. On top of that, you're getting Dark Surge. I mean, it's on the same boat as Deladrix, but it's higher for me. it rose 2 tiers from before, and getting Dark Surge Mudslide is pretty good for it. It can get rid of Ice Traps without having to switch back in 2 times. And Dark Surge, overall a good buff. You hit Luminami super effective now, and there's barely any water types in the game that can kill you. Vezeldu's like the only thing that can wall you, I'm pretty sure. I mean, wall you consistently. I mean, not consistently, it doesn't even have good recovery. But you know, whatever is whatever you need to do. So, Robodon, A-. I might move it up here, same reason as Boron, because these two are kind of frail, kind of slow, but hit her very hard. So, you know what, let's move it up to A. We didn't rank, oh yeah, Krakaloa, getting Eerie Stare. Does it help you offensively? No matter what, you're doing less damage you're doing the less damage as you've been doing. Eerie Stare is just another bad move for you, so yeah, C+, good effort though. Garbantis, you're getting Earthquake. It's another mediocre buff. What the heck? Why am I getting... Alright. Garbantis, getting Earthquake, it's okay. It's an upgrade to Clay Slap, but it doesn't help it out much. But, you know, B is still good too. Namare, why are you here? I don't think you get anything special. Let's keep you up there. Blotox, you're getting Baneful Bash. I'd run Aqua Jaws still, because you can still steamroll opponents with Aqua Jaws. Baneful Bash is cool and all, but Aqua Jaws is better in the late game. So, yeah, there you go. Stratosaur. I kinda wanna put it down here last time, but no, it's gonna stay here. Stratosaur is getting magnified. So, offensive Stratosaur is going to be even more valuable, especially since that Stratosaur is definitely going to be getting a Soul Burst in Antlanthian City. Now, that's pretty good on its own, and getting Stratosaur more setup is obviously very good for it. But is it enough to put it in B+ or even A-? Probably not. When Sephiroth comes out, the Levitate update will come here, and now that Stratosaur is a grounded Loomian, so many Earth types will get its revenge on Stratosaur and freaking kill it. Borak, Setimars, Volcaloa, Tyrex will all love to kill Stratosaur now. Even hell, Garbantis might even join for the fight. But yeah, Stratosaur might enjoy the Magnify buff, but then again, you do have Aeliguana for it, Venolin for it, Setimars for it now. Jolteeth can work as a check for it. Himber can check it. Valkyrie can check it. Protagon can check it. It still struggles with a lot. Magnify helps it, but you know, I wouldn't use Stratosaur. Kirillin, it's another cool Loomian getting a good move. Mega Kick, obviously very nice for it. It's an upgraded Rough Up, so you know, getting more moves for Kirillin's obviously nice. Wobblisk, you're getting Deep Freeze, I think. I'm not sure, but anyways, you're getting Deep Freeze. So you hit Luminami, super effective. You hit Blotok, super effective. You hit the water types mainly, super effective. And that makes range Wobblisk even more viable, because now you set up on Luminami and you threaten Luminami up, and that's a very rare thing these days. So you know, getting access to that's pretty good. Is it enough for A-? I think I put it A- here last time. I'm not sure if I want to do that again, because it still struggles with no recovery. Anyways, Harvest Act, Earthquake. It's an Earthquake Absorber. It's a slapdown absorber, although most slapdown users hit you super effective, so I don't know how I feel about this thing. It definitely is one of the strongest bug types in the game. It's just it's kind of weak to everything. Like weak to light isn't very good, weak to spirit isn't very good, weak to icicle traps isn't very good. So with icicle traps wearing you down and you being weak to poison, this thing is not gonna have a fun time with the meta. Do note, it definitely can work. I made it work in my Ikazune background footage for my video, so it definitely can work. I'm just saying there's better options. Hunter is getting chased down, but it's not really game changing because, you know, you still want to run the 4 elemental moves. Festifer getting Thistle Slash, it might be a game changer, but it's only 5 more base power than Bushwhack, so, you know, it's not going to be very great on it. Icicle. Icicle is getting Ice Hammer. It obviously helps it out a lot, but, you know, it's still passive. It's just another support Loomian, but it has more utility with its typing. So for now, I'm gonna put it B plus B. Definitely can be interchangeable. It's kind of passive. Still passive. It definitely is getting better moves, so you know, I might move it up to B plus. But Infernix getting Bane of Haste, it's not a game-changing move. It's still gonna be A plus tier Loomian. But yeah, it's still gonna be A plus. Bane of Haste might be good, but you know, you're very fast, so it wouldn't be working as well with Infernix. Buster is just, I mean, getting more Bane of Haste Loomian is always fun. Mewtwo, it's now getting Gamma Pulse. Gamma Pulse Mewtwo potentially might be very good, but you're still walled by Ice types, and Ice types these days are pretty common. Tundrelin here is common, Wintrix here is common, Himber here is common, Kalos becoming more common. It's just, it has a lot of competition. Also, not to mention that you are still walled by Stratosaur, and it's like the worst feeling in the world. I don't blame you. You're walled by Ilaguana, walled by Valkyrie. So yeah, I mean, it helps it out a lot. But you know, it's still not as great as it should be because Mewtwo getting more coverage is always dangerous. I'd watch for this in future updates because Mewtwo will get very dangerous very fast. Buzzlin is getting Kamikaze. You die, you get the opponent to -2 attack on both spectrums, so you get a free swap and a free setup. So I guess it's good, but I wouldn't run it. I mean, you definitely can run it over barter, but you know, it is what it is. So I guess it's gonna stay B plus for now. Servalin's getting teased. We're not gonna be talking about that. Cinnamoth's getting Flutter. So Flutter Cinnamoth is actually pretty good because now you avoid Icicle traps. But is that enough to make you better than the B tier Loomian? Yes, definitely better than Dargo because, you know, it's passive. But this getting Flutter, being weak, immune to Icicle traps and poison barbs, that helps it out a lot. But what most people don't see is that, you know, it's still weak to ice and it's still weak to brawler, and yeah, it's walled by freaking Valkyrie, clever Valkyries. It's walled by Venolin, walled by Ilaguana, walled by Luminami, walled by Namare. It's walled by a ton of stuff. It's just, I mean, its coverage can work, don't get me wrong, but being walled to by a ton of stuff is pretty bad. Your base stat spread is also pretty bad as well, because your speed tier is kind of low for what you need to outspeed stuff when sweeping. Your defenses are kind of bad along with your defensive typing, so that doesn't pair up pretty well. And your attack, it's alright, it's not the best. So Trumbull getting, what was it? What was Trumbull getting? It's getting Driving Force. Driving Force Trumbull obviously helps it. It takes out the ice types, so it's still negative priority. However, it doesn't hit you super effective. I mean, ice types don't hit you super effective, so that obviously helps you. And yeah, Trumbull driving force might be pretty good as well. You have like you can run Earthquake, Mega Jump, driving force, Battle Horn. You might want Raging Tackle or Headbutt, whatever you want. But yeah, it can work. Duskit, it's getting a mean-spirited buff, so now Poison Barbs can work with Duskit now. And that's pretty good because, you know, Duskit getting access to more utility is obviously very good. And most teams are weak to Poison Barbs. Sure, Vendolin's being carried a lot. Sure, Terrafly is rising up the ranks, kinda. But Duskit solidifying itself as a good sweeper and Poison Barb teams is obviously very good. And Mean Spirited won't be just affecting sleep paralysis, it can also be affecting everything right now. And so yeah, it's a B+ tier Lumion just for that. And you know, who knows, it might actually be even more stronger than it actually is. Your Fairlift's getting Flabbergast, it's getting Shrewd Blast. It mainly hits Vesperatu, but it's kinda cool, not really, because you're still bad. Oxydrake, it's getting the access to Driving Force at fully evolved, so it's still the same as always. Malwork getting Tsunami. It's definitely a decent B tier wall. It's just you know, just run Marsh Wave if you want to have a better range move, because unlike the melee side, you don't have anything, so steamrolling with Marsh Wave sounds better to me. Tundrelin, we didn't rank this last video because last video was released before Tundrelin, and I just want to say this thing's viability is hindered on the Earth, Ice, and Bug types of the metagame. What I would run with Tundrelin is Mysterious Dust with Resilience or Thick Fat, and very robust is very good because Body Crash you scale with your melee defense, and that's pretty good as well. Walling, Himber, Namare, Serimars, Solder, Venolin, Borak, not Terrafly, you know, Blowtox, Trumbull, Ventation. Yeah, it walls a lot now. Oh yeah, it walls Avatros and Volcaloa. So you know, it definitely helps a lot. But I'm not sure if it's an A+ tier just yet, because it is still weak to metal, and it's still weak to just metal actually. Alright, I don't know what to think about that. And last but not the least, Joltooth, you're getting Thunder Crash. It's just the worst Thunderclap. But yes, this is my predictions for the Antlanthian city buffs. If assuming every move gets added with these Loomians, these are what I'm gonna think it's gonna stay as. You obviously have a lot of these Loomians staying in the same spot, other than Eruptodon, Borak, Eruptodon, Borak, Trumbull, I'm pretty sure, Deladrix, Ventation moving down a slot, Wendolin, Wobblisk, Avatros, Duskit, yeah, Mewtwo even, Cinnamoth, Stratosaur. Yeah, there's a bunch of these buffs that are well deserved for these Loomians, but it's probably not as much of a game changer than you might think. However, this is my opinion, and just like all opinions, they have the potential to be wrong. So make sure you like the video if you found this video entertaining or informational, and make sure you comment down below your opinions and what you want these what Loomians you want to see in the future of videos. And have a good day or night or wherever you are, and wear your seatbelt, I guess. I don't know.